And like that, Kentucky Downs 2023 is over.
Today's video is brought to you by Assiniboia Downs Gaming and Event Center. Be sure to tune into this channel live Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern for Monday Night Lights, hosted by Trust the Profits.
Trust the Profits, it's the formula here. Not over just yet. Not over just yet. The Kentucky Downs. We've got one more day left. We have Wednesday, September 13th. And I'm going to go through the whole card with you. Capping the card. What am I going to be showing you? Well, if you hit the join button, you're going to be able to access some of what I'm going to be showing you here. We're changing it up a little bit. I have to warn you. We're going to change up the tiers now that Saratoga is done with. So we're moving forward, though, what the cards are going to look like is what I'm about to show you right now, at least for Kentucky Downs. By hitting the join button, you become a member, Trust the Profits member. There's going to be multiple tiers for you to join at, and based on what your membership level is, you'll have access to different cards, different tip sheets, and we're going to go through those now. Let's start with race one. Let's get it going here. So, race one, we got a maiden special weight here. Who am I going with? Well, you can see here, this is what our tip sheet looks like. We've got all the horses broken down here, the number of horses that are in the race, median lengths behind, in the money percentage, trainer, jockey, etc., and then pace numbers on the side, closing power in there as well. Who am I going with my safe play here? Starting at the top, but maybe one below, moving up. The reason I went one below here with moving up is because I do like the Tyler G. Brennan Walsh combo here. Came in close second last time out here. And I do like the closing power on that 7 there. My long shot here, my value play, I am going to go with the 5, who's getting 10-1. Rated fairly well for me because of those 2 previous workouts. Very difficult to rate the firsters against the horses that have shown you something already. But in this case, I do think those 5 furlong workouts plus the Rosario combo are worth the 10-1 value there. So there you go. Race 1 in the books. Moving on. Race 2, what are we going to go with? Veracruzan, the 11 horse. I'm moving down 3 levels here to hit Veracruzan. As you can see by the median lengths, what the horses here have shown us, not a whole lot so far. A lot of them are finishing 10 plus lengths behind the winner in their first showing. Veracruzan had some of the best speed figures at the distance and ran a 47-second 4 furlong in his workout. So you're hoping to see some improvement here from Veracruzan, especially at that 7-2 morning line number that we're getting there. But I'm going to go with a firster here for my value play. I've got it as my number 2 horse, Jacked. 12-1 you're getting on Jacked, which is pretty impressive given the jockey trainer combo of Brad Cox, Florent Giraud. Getting 12-1 on that horse in a field that doesn't look that impressive. Brad Cox might not know it. Run six races so far at Kentucky Downs this year, and I think it's first place twice, second once, third once. So he's actually had a pretty good showing despite not running that many horses in this race. A little bit surprising to me when I first looked at it. So I think I'm going to dig on that combo and hope for the best for Cox here. Moving on, we got race 3. I dug a little bit deeper here because, as you can see, we got 3 value plays up top. If I'm going to look for a safe play, I'm going to say Tilted Towers, getting great speed figures at that 5 furlong distance. This is a 6 furlong race, but 5 furlongs was showing pretty good numbers and was a winner's last time out. What am I going for here for my value play? I am going to the top here, getting 8-1 on Pure Panic. As you can see there from my third to last column, there's a class drop number there. Paying close attention to that. Also paying close attention to the paces. You're going to see in a lot of these races, there are not a lot of horses that are sticking out as being single pace dominators. This race probably has the least pace confusion or the least pace collision, as you're going to see in a lot of these races. You have 2 here that are showing as being pushing the pace. Out of Door and Spycraft is the other one. So I'm thinking here that we're going to be playing off the pace again, looking for closers, as you're going to see is going to be the case in a lot of these races. So Pure Panic is my value play at 8-1. Moving on to race 4. So race 4 here, the safe play here for me is Implementation at the very top. So you can see from all that green on the right side, We're seeing a lot of horses that in their last race were the pace setter. As you can see on the left of that, there's a few that were pushing the pace there on average. So there's going to be a few contenders here to see who's going to be pushing the pace. 7 should be staying off by a bit. Also look at the median lengths, 0.01, meaning on average this horse is going to be um, ahead at the end of the game, which is what you want to see, obviously. The Gaffy Saffy combo, liking that there on the 7, getting 4-1. My number 2 horse here is going to be the value play. That is Arabian Prince. Big closing number, which is good to see in a race like this. We talked about having a heavy pace. You want to see the closing number. Horses, that's a lot of horses down the stretch, something you want to see on turf as well. So, yeah, Arabian Prince should come charging down if Gutierrez can get him positioned properly there. The 5th race. This is the one race that we're showing here. It's a maiden special weight race, but it's the one where we're not really showing a whole lot of early speed at all. Um, I am going to go with the safe play at the top here. Sistina Chapel sticks out with the best speed figures, best previous performance. Closing numbers show the horse had a lot left in the last race. Curious to see how it handles the next race. Tonal Light, second best. That's going to be my value play here, based on where she was in the previous races. Could end up being the pace setter here, and not a whole lot of challengers that we've seen. There's a few firsters in this race too, so that could change things. 6 and 9, those are my 2 top horses in this race. Race 6, you've seen a lot of blue, a lot of green as well in this one. For the safe play, it was a toss up between the 6 and the 3. So you can tell by their power figure numbers, 11.79, 11.4, very close. So it really was the deciding factor for me here. It was pretty much a coin toss, but I like Kentucky Ghost, the 3. The edge goes to the Brad Cox Florent Giroux combo. Win last time out, shows closing power, like the 6 in this race. Both of them show closing power, which is something you want to see. The 6 does have a little bit of a class drop, which is notable. Both horses should be up for consideration in this race. Going with a value play, I do like the 10 here as my value play. Big blue line. Similar to the last horse, wasn't that far off in terms of median lengths overall in this past few races. Sticks just off the pace, median finish just over 1 length, as I mentioned, and Joel Rosario should get him into position in this race, especially if there's a heavy pace. Sitting just off the pace, moving in there at the end. That's what we're hoping to see here. Moving on, we are on race 7. So race 7, how about them apples? Yeah, it's the 11 horse right at the top there for me. I would also say consider the 13. The 13 was sticking out to me, but of course, in these races, you're expecting to see scratches from 13 to 16. So unlikely that horse will be running, but given the closing numbers on the 13, I did want to have a call out here for it. And I want a horse that's not going to get chewed up in the pace. You can see there's a lot of green in there. There's 2 horses that set out as last pace and last race and last 3 races as being pace setters. A few more have last race as pace setters and just pushing the pace as their last 3 races. A lot of green here, so I'm going up at the top. How about them apples was one that I chose here as uh, my safe play. But going for the 4 horse here, Pure Country, 10-1, uh, sits just off the pace. Last race was 2 tiers off the pace, finishing maybe 3 lengths off. But definitely hoping to see some improvement here. I do like the recent race value you've gotten out of Pure Country as well, uh, and hoping to see those pace setters really ruin the rest of the horses in this race here. Just kidding, not ruin them. That would be cruel. All right, moving on. The safe play here. Good Lord, Lori. Yeah, between the 5 and the 7, I'm giving the edge to Jose Ortiz. Jose Ortiz has been phenomenal at Kentucky Downs so far in the first 6 meets. Um, both horses have a great shot here, but again, I'm just going to give the edge to the jockey in this one. They both have similar styles in terms of where they set themselves on the pace. They both close really well. Recent race value here, also the edge to the 5, which is a little bit more reason why I went with the 5 horse here. If we're going to go for value, I'm going 4 tiers down to Please Advise. So this is a young group looking for a horse to mature. Could be Please Advise. Solid jockey and trainer combo with Weaver and Liscano. Running style could also help here. So you can see there's a number of horses that might be getting up on that pace. This is a horse that sat back off of it before, and maybe we could find ourselves a charger here at the end of this 6 furlong race. Race 9, getting close to the end here. I did go one tier down on this one. I wanted to avoid the pace setter at the very top there simply because there were 3 horses that were definite pace setters and a few more that looked like they could challenge. So I'm going to go with Hidden Class here. Had a closing power of 3 for me, 100% in the money. Hidden Class, I mean, we're talking about horses that have had like one race in their history here. Uh, Full of early speed in this one. This horse will close. Won his last race by 3+ lengths, so you definitely like to see that. I also like the value you get on the 9 horse here, my third horse down. Um, Amazing value, Atros and Giroux. I think that 10 to 1 is really good if it holds. 12 to 1, sorry. 12 to 1 is really good if it holds. I'll take 10 to 1 too. Finally, the last race. What we're going to go with here for the safe play. We are looking at the top again. Um, There still is a lot of early speed in this one. Potentially, we're looking at maiden special weights. So there's not a whole lot of history on a lot of these, but you got some sort of idea here. I am going with Kara and Colleen, 75% in the money. Some of the best speed figures, and at a greater distance too with this horse. So I've seen a lot of 8 furlong races, and we're going down to 6 here. Stays close to the pace, so it shouldn't be a matter of closing too late for Karen Colleen. I really like Karen Colleen at 3 to 1 here. But if we want to get value, I am going all the way down to the 11. Why is that? I do like the combo of Irad and Michael Maker here. I'd rather see Jose. Yes, I'd rather see Jose because he's having such a great meet here. He's been doing better than Irad. But getting 12 to 1 on a horse that is trying to break her maiden, finishing only 1.5 lengths off the winner last time. I think you're getting great value here, especially with the jockey that is in place. So that's what I got here. What do you guys think of the last meet? What's your favorite race? Who do you like? What are your value plays? Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, and see you later.